Pokemon Platinum. With such charming sprite work, badass designs, and the most memorable champion of all time, this game had it all for me as a kid. So, I thought it would be nice to return to Sinnoh once more. But I won't be playing base Pokemon Platinum. Instead, I will be playing Pokemon Renegade Platinum. Renegade Platinum is a difficulty hack created by the legendary Draiano. This patch introduces a whole new slew of Pokemon to use at the player's disposal that aren't available in the base game. In turn, however, it updates the boss trainers scattered throughout this game. These include scarier rivals, Galactic commanders, brand new trainer fights altogether, the gym leaders, and the Elite Four. Each of these fights have the potential to sweep a woefully unprepared trainer. If this wasn't scary enough, I will also be adding Nuzlocke rules for this playthrough. For the uninitiated, Nuzlocke rules add an additional layer of difficulty to the Pokemon games. General rules go as follows. I have to catch the first Pokemon I see on every route area. If a Pokemon faints, they are considered dead and cannot be revived. If I wipe during any fight or black out, we lose the run. I will also be incorporating rules of adding in the dupes clause, and allowing myself access to the many gift Pokemon this game provides to the player. These gift Pokemon are overall really awesome, and I want to have more variety to utilize in my run. With all that cleared up, allow me to recount to you all my Pokemon Renegade Platinum Nuzlocke. Upon starting the game, we are introduced to Barry, our rival who is constantly hyped up on Zoomies. However, I named him after one of the most beloved Fire Emblem characters ever known, Makalov. We link up with him to meet Professor Rowan, where we are given our choice of the starter Pokemon. I decide to go with Turtwig for my starter, as he has the chance to receive Battle Armor for his ability. Battle Armor is a very potent tool for Nuzlocking, as negating critical hits can allow for a lot of wiggle room during battles. Sadly, our Turtwig doesn't receive this ability, but he's a suitable companion that bodies Max Chimchar. Along the path to Jubilife City, we receive several encounters including a Pidgey, Wingull, a Sentret, a gifted Eevee from our mom, and even the other two Sinnoh starters from Rowan's lab. Overall, the team seems to be shaping up to be ready for Oreburgh City. But first, we have to get past Makalov in another rival battle. Let's see how it goes! Let's see how Skyrad performs. That was a crit! Good lord, Skyrad's dead. He is fast. Fucking Starly. Bro, Starly, fuck off! Yeah. So, Mac's team isn't necessarily scary on paper, but for whatever reason, his Starly has a bone to pick with my entire team. With consecutive crit after crit, my team went down in horrific fashion. This would mark the first season to end in record time at Jubilife City, without even a single badge to our name. So I decided to run it back for Season 2. This time around, I chose Chimchar for my starter. That ended up receiving Iron Fist as his ability. As I retraced my steps, the gifted Pokemon remained about the same, along with the new encounters such as a Psyduck, a Poochyena, and God himself. Before taking on Makalov again, I decided to take my time to receive several free encounters around the city. This included an egg in the Pokemon Trainer School, a Magikarp in Route 218, a Weepinbell and a Zubat in the north, and even all of the Kanto starters from our camera crew in the Pokemon Center. If I haven't made it clear enough, Draiano is incredibly generous with the gifted Pokemon, and we're just getting started with the game. As I wait for the Pokemon egg to hatch, there's one in particular that I really hope hatches from the egg that will make Makalov's fight that much easier. Curious, honestly, I would love to get an Elekid. I'd love to get an Elekid. Come on, let's see it. I love Elekid right now. Yo, let's fucking go! Oh, shit! Yo! Oh my god! Hell yeah! That's my boy! Lo and behold, to my surprise, the egg gifted me Lot, the Elekid. This Elekid would be the key to my undying revenge towards Makalov's Starly. With a surge of confidence, I challenged Makalov to a battle and proceeded to decimate his entire team. Along the path to Oreburgh City, I miss out on an encounter with a teleporting Abra and accidentally one-shot an Onix. As if missing out on these two encounters is bad enough, I also goof up really bad during a brand new event with Rourke. In Renegade Platinum, Rourke gives you a choice of a wide array of evolution stones to choose from in the Orberg Mine. This stone is meant to act as an early evolution for your Eevee. Initially, I planned to make Stevie the Eevee an Umbreon. Umbreon provides solid bulk that is necessary for a Nuzlocke like this. Though, sadly, I accidentally skipped through Rourke's dialogue, which resulted in me receiving a Water Stone from him instead. While Vaporeon isn't a bad alternative, it isn't the one I wanted. So for the time being, Stevie will have to sit on the bench until I find the right stone for him. Sorry, little guy. Despite the setbacks, I make my way back to the Pokemon Center and run into the television crew again. This time around, they conveniently have all of the Hoenn starters to gift me. Without even a second thought in my mind, I make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
With our new friends, I prepare my team as best as I can and challenge Rourke to a battle on his own turf. Rourke's team is a lot different compared to base Platinum. For starters, his team has a lot of type coverage in moves and setups. Pivots are going to be a constant strategy in these boss fights. But thankfully, Rourke is a kind introduction to this ROM's formula. To start off, I send out Slip and Kippy the Marshtomp against Rourke's Nosepass. This Nosepass has no effective way to damage or affect Kippy in any meaningful way, resulting in a clean sweep against it and the Geodude. Rourke then gets desperate and decides to send out his Cranidos early. It actually manages to land a nasty critical hit on Kippy, causing a little bit of tension in the air before it is unceremoniously one-shot from Bulldoze. God, I love Marshtomp. As Rourke sends out his Bonsly, I swap out to Psyduck. However, RNGesus has plans for this run, and decides to have this Bonsly crit my Psyduck with a Brick Break. I decide to make a tough call and keep Psyduck in, sacrificing him as the first official death of the run. His sacrifice would not be in vain, as it allowed for a clean switch in for Twitch the Grovyle. With his tremendous speed, Twitch dispatches Rourke's Bonsly, Onix, and Larvitar without breaking a sweat. Badge 1 was under our belts. Before leaving Orberg City, my chat points out that there is one last gift Pokemon in the city that I would especially be happy to have. Leading up to this point in the game, I've answered to my chat that my favorite Pokemon of all time was none other than Metagross. Between its typing, badass design, and sentimental value, Metagross holds a very special place in my heart. And lo and behold, in a house near the Orberg Mines is none other than the Giga Chad himself, Steven Stone. And what does he gift me? A motherfucking Beldum, who I happily name my son. As I depart from Orberg City, I begin my journey to Eterna City, where the second gym awaits us. But first, we have to make a pit stop in Floraroma Town. Before pulling off our heist in the Valley Windworks, we stop by the Pokemon Center to receive our last string of gifted starters from the camera crew. This time around, we receive the Johto starters. Notably, Paterino the Cyndaquil and Gary Busey the Totodile join our team, specifically for the fight against Commander Mars. Her team, for the most part, is nothing too special. However, her Perugly is still enough to strike fear into all of us like we were kids fighting her for the very first time. Her Zubat stood no chance against my boy Lot, however, she immediately brings out the Perugly right after. Through careful pivoting of resisting damage and lowering its attack stat with Intimidate, this allows my Monferno to land a safe low kick to bring down this ugly-ass cat. The rest of Mars' team provides no issue, securing us an easy dub. After that fight, I called stream for the night, returning to the game for the following week for Day 2. With Mars out of the way, we can properly begin our journey to Gardenia in Eterna City. Most notably, I encounter a Shellos en Route 205. Now, let me tell you right now, this little goober, this little guy, this absolute goat, this freaking unit, otherwise known as Splurt, is gonna do amazing things as a Gastrodon. Just you wait and see. Upon reaching Eterna Forest, we are challenged by Cheryl, which is a brand new fight added in by Draiano. Her team doesn't provide much difficulty other than maybe a tanky Chansey that warranted some caution. But thankfully, we come out of that fight unscathed. Within Eterna Forest, I grab a Shroomish in the grass and grab a Ghastly in the old chateau. As a quick side note, I absolutely adore the fact that my chat decided to name this goofy guy Spherical as a little Drake and Josh reference.
Only
literally the most sophisticated gaming experience ever created by humans, and it's spherical. Spherical!
Before we could challenge the second gym, we are forced to make our way to Route 216, where Gardenia is hanging out there for some reason. I don't know, maybe she wanted to take a ski trip. As I make my way towards her, I notably catch Grogu the Metatite, Volk the Sneasel, and holy helix of frickin' Phoebus? So, as it turns out, Mount Coronet's pawns have a Phoebus on their encounter table if you fish with an old rod. You even get a freaking prism scale in Mount Coronet just for the heck of it all. An early game Milotic is going to be pivotal for the next few stages of the game. Its ability to self-heal with Recover and potent special attack will make it a welcome addition to the team. But for now, this Phoebus is staying in the box to avoid any unnecessary deaths until the time is right. Don't you worry, Astarion, we'll be back for you soon, and you'll be as dashing as ever.
Of course! What fun!
Back to Eterna City, I gather a team of capable warriors to conquer Gardenia's gym of dreaded grass Pokemon. Gardenia is certainly a step up from Rourke. A lot of them have more coverage, combine well with Sunny Day due to chlorophyll, and can inflict nasty status effects. But this wasn't going to stop us. With an admittedly lucky start, Paterino manages to avoid the Blossom Stun Spore and makes quick work of it. He also manages to get a free level out of it, and gives him Lava Plume. Yeah, with that free layup, Paterino just proceeds to decimate Gardenia's team, especially with her Cherim deciding to buff Pat with Sunny Day for some reason. Now, this fight was going all well and good. Well, until Gardenia's Breloom came out. Knowing Breloom's moveset, this thing absolutely had a prio move in Mach Punch, which would spell disaster for Paterino. I immediately swapped to my Weepinbell, who had Chlorophyll, and the Sunny Day was thankfully still in effect. Regrettably, Breloom has access to Spore, which puts our Weepinbell immediately to sleep. Without any luck of waking up, I decide to switch to my Golbat. Golbat takes the first punch fine, but then Breloom outspeeds my Golbat and secures a Fatal Thunder Punch on him. I'm sorry, Echo. You did great, pal. With things looking dire, it was time for Rex the Ivysaur to shine. Breloom, of course, decides to put him to sleep immediately. However, by a strain of pure luck, it only lasts for one turn, which allows Rex to land a nasty sludge attack. After Gardenia's last potion, and Breloom, for some reason, throwing the fight not using Spore again, we managed to secure the second gym badge. That could have ended horribly. Before we can even leave Eterno City behind, we do have to deal with Team Galactic again. The grunts don't pose much of a threat, but Commander Jupiter proves to be a real nasty danger to my team. Her Skuntank especially proves to be a real danger thanks to its Night Slash, and it could spell an untimely end for anyone. I decide this time around to lead with Volk the Sneasel, to try and dispatch her Golbat. While Sneasel has a good chance to two-shot it with Ice Shard, Golbat ends up confusing him. And for reasons I can't really explain, I decided to gamble and stay in to beat the confusion. Volk regrettably hits himself in confusion and then falls to a fatal leech life. Enraged by their comrade's death, my son finishes the Golbat with a headbutt. Paterino obliterates Sableye like a tactical nuke, and Splurt, the goat, puts Skuntank in its place like a fart in the wind. Lastly, Jupiter's Tangela comes out. Knowing my team was wounded or could die instantly to Giga Drain, I swapped to Grogu the Metatite. Knowing he was likely not going to make it, I try to have Grogu have a glorious final stand, leading the most badass jump kick of all time. It missed. It missed. That's unfortunate. Well, at least he gave Paterino a clean switch in. Sorry, Grogu. With Jupiter dealt with, we do unfortunately have to go on a side quest to aid Mira, a sassy lost child in the Wayward Cave. Unfortunately, I missed out on one of the best encounters in the early game. A Gibble. Had I had repels ready and went to the right place in this cave, we could have had access to one of the best Pokemon in all of Sinnoh. But with the disappointment known as Geodude as our encounter, I decided to name him Gibble to cope with the loss of a goated Pokemon. Despite this loss, we talk to Mira and are forced to fight her. Her Porygon proves to be a significant threat to my team, forcing me to panic and pivot as it kept getting stronger due to its Charge Beam. Regrettably, I lose my Charmeleon to its tri-attack before we wrap up the rest of Mira's team. As if that wasn't bad enough, we're forced to escort her through this cave just to find a freaking ribbon. Man, this little girl really wants to be a big nuisance beyond taking away my Charmeleon, huh? Also, as a quick sidebar, I find it terrifying that this girl has the ability to keep up with my bike on foot. It's almost like I'm watching a Dead by Daylight killer chase or something. After begrudgingly aiding Mira, we make our way to Heartome City. But before we can even reach there, we have 2 boss fights to get through. First up is Dawn. Dawn on her own is generally an okay fight. There's nothing really of significant note to this fight. Haha, just kidding, except for one key detail. What did throw me in for a loop during this fight was her Lopunny. I decided in a moment where my son was getting low on HP, and I decided to pivot right then and there to Spherical. In my mind, surely this Lopunny can't hit Ghost because it only has normal and fighting moves, right? He's Spherical! That still hits? That hits? What? Jump kick hits? Yep. As it turns out, this Lopunny has its Mega Evolution ability tied to it. For those that don't know, Mega Lopunny gains the Scrappy ability, which allows its normal and fighting type moves to hit ghost types. This was an upsetting loss for sure. No Gengar for us this run. But hey, at least we have Splurt and our newly acquired Swamp Puppy Gyarados to finish out the rest of the battle. As if my lost streak of Pokemon wasn't going bad enough, Renegade Platinum decides to be extra mean to you right before you can even walk into Heartome City. You see, Draiano added a boss fight in the city entrance that is considered to be one of the hardest fights in the entire game. Who shows up to stomp on your fun? None other than Aaron from the Elite Four. That's right, we only have 2 badges, and we are forced to fight Aaron. On paper, he should be a decent fight as he has generally weak bug Pokemon, but let's not kid ourselves, Draiano has significantly buffed bug types in general, so we're in for a very brutal battle. So to start off, I decide to send in Gibble the Graveler to be my lead. His job was very simple: set up Stealth Rocks, potentially take down the Dustox, and if he's really lucky, get off a self-destruct as his last hoorah. Basically, Gibble was death fodder, no matter the outcome.
Outcome? Train go boom.
Gibble thankfully was able to set up his Stealth Rocks, and he did take down the Dustox, but he was sadly claimed by the Toxic that was set up on him. Not knowing what Aaron was going to send in next, I decide Swamp Puppy to be the best call to set up Intimidate. Aaron decides in this moment to send out his Scizor, which could easily sweep us if he set up enough Swords Dances. Thankfully, Swamp Puppy was faster and landed 2 back-to-back Aqua Tails before that could happen. A very successful yoink, if I may say. Aaron then decides to send out his ace, Drapion. This thing has the ability to sweep through my entire team, all thanks to his ability, Sniper. 1 crit can easily murder all of my Pokemon. And given our track record with crits, things started to look bleak. I decided in this moment to stay in with Swamp Puppy, and a fierce battle ensued. Swamp Puppy managed to land a solid Aqua Tail, but then sadly fell to a cross-poison crit. Drapion had in fact yoinked him. Without a second thought, I send out Splurt, who thankfully deleted the Drapion before he could cause more problems. Next was Beautifly. This thing unfortunately had Energy Ball, meaning Splurt had to swap out. I decided in this moment to swap in Paterino, praying that he lives 2 hits and get off a Lava Plume in time. Thankfully, he narrowly survives Beautifly's Air Slash, but he unfortunately flinches. This was bad. Really bad. And for whatever reason, whether it was my nerves spiking so high or thinking rashly, I send out my son to fight the Beautifly. And then this happens. It's not enough damage. I'm so stupid. No! No! God damn it! That was such a stupid pivot. Why did I do that? My favorite Pokemon gone in a flash. My team weakened and beaten down. This truly looked like the end. In this moment, I send out Monferno in a last-ditch attempt to save the run. Thankfully, he is able to avenge the Fallen by taking down the Beautifly. Then it all came down to Aaron's final Pokemon, Venomoth. In my head, I was hoping Monferno would outspeed it, but to my horror, he couldn't, and was taken down by a Psychic. 4 deaths. Only Splurt and Patarino remained. Patarino would not be able to outspeed the Venomoth, so I had to pray for Splurt. It isn't flying and doesn't have Levitate. I think we need to hit it with an Earth Power. Come on. You fucking bitch. Splurt, come on. Wake up. Splurt! Splurt! Oh my god! Kill. You are kidding me right now! Stay in it, stay in it, stay in it. Splurt. Crit, come on. Splurt. Splurt, come on! Yeah! Crit! Oh my god! He fucking crit! Splurt and Pat fucking live! By an incredible strain of luck, Splurt managed to clutch the fight on 4 HP in a fucking dream. All thanks to this absolute GOAT, this god among Pokemon. This run lives on. But this is just the beginning of our journey. Only 6 badges remain, and Team Galactic is still at large. Will Splurt and Patarino be able to handle the weight of the rest of this run? Will they be able to make new friends along the way and strengthen their resolve to beat the Elite Four? Find out next time, my friends, for the Pokemon Renegade Platinum Nuzlocke continues. Thanks for watching. If you want to see what happens next, please be sure to tune into the next stream. It'll be a heck of a fun time, and I hope to see you all there. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. My name is Davis G, and I wish you all a good day. Take care.